Hi, I'm Kevin, a speech-language pathologist here at Super Duper Publications, and this is Granny's Candies. Granny's Candies is a game of word meanings. It's for students kindergarten through 6th grade. And what this game is going to do is going to combine the excitement of picking candies from Granny's candy jars, all the while learning hundreds of opportunities of semantic language and expanding your vocabulary use. We do this by targeting 8 different areas. What doesn't belong, what belongs in this group, give an action word, give a describing word, how are they alike, and what do these things have in common? How do we play the game? It's a good question. First, you're going to have your game board. You place your game board on the table. Of course, you can have 1 to 4 students playing. Of course, we have 4 candy jars here demonstrated on the board. You're going to take your candy pieces. We're going to fill each candy jar for each student. And then, depending on the skill that they're working on, whether it be give an action word, what does it belong, etc., we'll take the appropriate card. For example, this is what doesn't belong. We have smile, cry, frown, and pout. The student will give the appropriate response to the question card. Then they'll be allowed to take the die. They roll the die. In this case, they get a 6. And then they will take 6 candy pieces from the jar. This game also is going to come with a resource manual. The resource manual is appropriate as you're having the younger students come into speech therapy working on their language skills to where you can actually target the specific skill, do it in an instruction manner so that they're learning as they're playing the game as well. We don't want to have the student be overwhelmed with actual information so that they don't have any success when they're learning. The first part of the resource manual, you'll notice, has all of the instruction activity that the therapist or the teacher or even a parent would need in order to teach these skills correctly. You'll notice in the bottom right of each page is going to have a content header that's going to actually let you identify which activity that you're working on. For example, this one, what belongs in this group, the associated card here would be card number 44 that would say summer clothes, shorts, t-shirts, bathing suit. So what we would do is we would give that category, summer clothes, and then this is going to list, say, appropriate or anticipated responses that we would expect a child to give us when we did give them that stimulus question. The first part is going to target all different areas, as I said before, and then once you completed those areas, you'll notice at the back of the first section, it's got a combo and assessment lesson. This is going to be a great tool so that we can get a baseline data information for our students on where their actual skills are. So if we take this, it's going to target the different areas, and we get kind of a snapshot image of what level that they've actually acquired these skills. Once they've done this and you have your information, the remainder of the book is used for, say, class activities, carryover activities, homework activities, etc., that the student's going to be able to have additional practice to learn those skills and actually to implement them in their spontaneous speech. For example, with these are going to list the category title, and they're going to provide the 3 different items within that category. You can do this, like I said, either homework, or you can do this as an auditory comprehension task by just having these questions asked and the student providing the response. Not only do you have listing of a vocabulary category and them giving you the different items, but also here you'll notice we have sentence completion tasks. This one, once again, as we look at the reference in the bottom, is going to be what is this used for? So we're looking at action words. What does this item do? A lamp is used for, so then we would say a lamp is used for light. So if you have a dark room, we need a lamp, turn it on, it's going to give us the light. A flashlight is used for, same thing, seeing in the dark. So we do have those different activities. Another neat feature of the book as well is once you get to the back, pages 52 through 57 have open-ended games. What are these games can be used for either further work with your language categories. You can use them with other activities. You can even use them with activities that you're using with students that are even maybe working on different speech skills. Maybe for articulation, use the candy in the candy jars. Or you may want to use something more of like a game pattern. Use the game pattern, print it out. Now you can use this with your entire group as one game board, or you may select to print out 4 or 5 different game boards so that each student has their own workstation. We also have add-on set 2. Now set 2 of Granny's Candies is going to target vocabulary and figurative language. It's going to have the same format as the originals Granny's Candies. You're going to use the same game board. the same candy tokens, as well as the same die. But you will notice that they're targeting 8 different areas. You're going to have 8 different stimulus cards, and these are going to be for activities that you're using, like I said, for vocabulary and figurative language. Once again, you're going to have a manual, and this resource manual is going to target and list the same activities. And you'll notice in the beginning, once again, each activity that you're going to be working on, for instance, synonyms, it's going to be coded at the bottom so that you'll know that you're in the right section, and then it's going to have your same activity cards and the same anticipated responses that we're looking for as we're teaching that vocabulary and those figurative language skills. But once you've completed that activity, this one also, just like the Granny's Candies one, is going to have your combo lesson so that you can do your assessment on how well are they doing each activity and how well have they learned the skills needed in these different activity areas. Sections 2 and 3 in the back, once again, they're going to include stimulus questions. They're open-ended responses, whether it may be completing a list of items, it may be filling in the blank, or it may be just identifying the vocabulary or figurative language answer that's appropriate. Once again, for example, this is for metaphors. Check the answers at the bottom. We're on metaphors. Life is a beach. So what the student's going to do is write a response that if I say life is a beach and the word beach, exactly what am I saying? What does that mean to you? So each of these activities, once again, can be used. Same thing, they're going to use the game cards for the stimulus activity. With that response, once again, they're going to get the die. They'll roll the die and they'll take that many candy pieces from the jar. That is set 2 for vocabulary and figurative language. We also have an additional set 3. Set 3 is going to target verbs. This entire book, nothing but verbs. Once again, the initial part of the book, the beginning, is going to have your stimulus items listed. These are in conjunction with the cards, once again, so that you can teach the skill as well as teach the anticipated response from them. You'll notice here, regular past tense verbs, very common activity that we work on with speech therapy. We've checked in the bottom, we are regular past tense. The dog blank at the squirrel. The verb provided is bark, so they would say the dog barked at the squirrel. These activities can be used, like I said, either in class, this can be their activity for the day, or they can use it for homework, carry over with parents, or either work back in the classroom as well. These cards are used the same way as 1 and 2. Set 3 is going to have additional 12 categories, and then you're also going to be able to use the same game board, use it the same way as you're working on your verb skills with the students. Sets 2 and 3 also include a CD in the back of the book. This CD is going to allow you to print out as many copies as you want at your desk, so there's no need to run back and forth to a copier. You can print out homework activities for your students right then and there before they leave the session, and therefore everything is going to keep you neat and organized and effective therapy with your students. The Granny's Candies game is going to include 672 semantic skill cards, 144 foam candy tokens, a game board, the instructions, a reproducible workbook, a card divider box, and dice. Now, Granny's Candies Set 2, which is going to target vocabulary and figurative language, includes 672 semantic skill cards, the reproducible activity book with printable CD-ROM, the card divider box, and the instructions as well. Also, the Granny's Candies Card Set 3, targeting verbs, is going to include the 672 semantic skill cards, also the reproducible activity book with the printable CD-ROM, the card divider box, and the instructions are included as well. So this is Granny's Candies. It's a great game working on your language skills, receptive and expressive language skills. Set 2, working on figurative language and vocabulary, as well as Set 3, doing work with verbs. So, if you'd like to learn more information, visit us at superduperinc.com or visit us at Facebook and share your ideas on how you use Granny's Candies in your therapy.